2019, I bought the limited edition of SimCity, and although it took me a few days to finally get into a server, once I did, I was really enjoying it. Well, that was right up until my fire engines glitched out and decided to drive round and round in circles while half my town burned to the ground. I really like city building games, and at the time I was happy to take SimCity for what it was, and with all its faults, right up until my game broke, since there wasn't much else like it. Now that's changed with the release of Cities Skylines, a game that is quite simply everything that SimCity 2013 should have been. At a glance, Cities Skylines looks a lot like SimCity. In fact, if it wasn't so good, we'd probably be calling it a clone or a direct ripoff. But developer Colossal Order have seriously proved themselves. But what is it that makes it so good? Right off the bat, Skylines is much cheaper than SimCity, costing just $30 at launch, and seemingly without sacrificing much at all. It also offers an online mode from the get-go, whereas EA gave gamers the runaround by saying they needed SimCity to be online, before eventually caving and adding an offline mode, although not before alienating a lot of their players. Skylines seems like it has a lot more flexibility and room to grow compared to SimCity, thanks to an already thriving mod community and more comprehensive gameplay features which cater to those of you who love micromanaging. Beyond that, Cities Skylines simply feels more alive and true to its promise of simulating city life than SimCity. In Skylines, your citizens aren't weirdos who go to work in a different place every day and return to the home that's closest to them like in SimCity. They have their own personal names, occupations, homes, cars, and feelings. Okay, sometimes your citizens clip into cars over a crosswalk, but you can actually watch the little dudes go about their lives, which is special in such an expansive city builder. They live and die. You can follow their lives from childhood right up until the graveyard hearse comes to pick up their corpse. They graduate from different levels of school, get jobs based on their level of education, and move out of their parents' house, so long as the city you've built lets them have all those opportunities, of course. But it's not just about building. Skylines lets you manage and have control over your cities by allocating districts and applying a number of policies concerning lifestyle, services, taxation, and city planning. These cover everything from compulsory recycling and the recreational use of weed to taxing the rich and banning pets in order to keep your houses clean. Policies can be applied to the town as a whole or simply to districts, and everything you do causes a butterfly effect of pros and cons to the rest of your city. On top of that, the possibilities for expanded gameplay features are huge thanks to well-integrated mods and enormous map sizes. Unlike other city builders, Skylines seems happy to have you build a great big town and keep on expanding. Although you start on a plot of land whose size is similar to the last SimCity, you're pretty quickly given the opportunity to buy extra plots on all sides, so you'll find you're never short of room or unable to make the city that you can see in your head. I mean, if somebody can make Grand Theft Auto 5's Los Santos, you can be reassured that there aren't a lot of size restrictions. While the game might not feature every city-related item you can dream of, there is the constant promise of new stuff, thanks to the in-game asset and map editor, Steam Workshop integration, and the huge community that's already there. That said, Cities Skylines doesn't have that excellent Max's soundtrack that underpinned SimCity, and like any good city planning game, you will have to fail at least once until you can create a town that doesn't just slowly burn money until all of your citizens are dead or weeping. Cities Skylines has a lot of exciting potential, and in just a week, the game has sold over 500,000 copies. It manages to be both accessible and incredibly complex, depending on how long you've been playing through a map and whether you're a fan of digging into the specifics of city management. That's just my opinion though, so be sure to let me know down in that comment section what you think of Cities Skylines and how you reckon it stacks up to SimCity. I'll catch you again next week.